another episode of Snowskate Overlords, the most authoritative podcast in snowskating. I'm Eric Frick here with Zach L. Warden, Andrew Nelson, and today we have like a hybrid episode between a Wet Sox and an Overlords. We have Mr. Nick Stefani himself. Nick, how's it going today, bud?
Good. Thanks for having me, boys.
Dude, nice thank you so much for jumping on. This is long overdue, and we thought you didn't want to do it for a while. We thought you were very, very against this. I don't know what happened.
Nah, had a change of heart.
That's not the case.
About, what happened there?
I think there was a miscommunication.
Yeah, just a miscommunication. We got it all settled out.
Yeah. Regardless, Nick texted me a couple of years ago, and he's like, "Dude, I'm down." And I'm like, "Well, then shit, we heard wrong. Let's get it popping at some point." And finally, we had the time to do it. So he's here with us today.
Hey, before we start, I just want to say hi to all the old dogs out there.
Yeah,
Crowcroft, Siggy, Alan, Phil, Bjorn, Rico, Emil, Blay, Justin Majeski. What's up, boys?
Hopefully they're listening.
Yeah, they're probably the only ones listening.
That's our core. That's our core audience, I think.
Clay Oberst.
Like all my childhood idols right there, and still kind of idols in a way, you know.
For real. Miss Robbie Gobeil though.
Oh yeah, Robbie.
Oh, dude, such a good skater.
Awesome, dude.
Those grabs, amazing. Well, let's get into it. Let's talk about how you got into snow skating and started getting involved with Ambition, Nick. How did that come about?
Well, let's start. I started snowboarding in like 2000. Then I saw a snowboard video around a couple years after that, got psyched on the video thing, bought a camera. And then for like the next 5 years, I would make a skate video and a snowboard video. Once a summer, once a winter, boom, boom. And just kept
doing two videos a year.
Yeah. And then, and then the snowboard video, I would like be snow skating at home, filming myself just on the tripod. Then I would like slip either into the video, or at some points the videos got too good, so I had to just put it in the bonus. And then I saw it turn it out through maybe Amp 2, was it, or something like that? Remember that game?
The one that you're allowed to like pick a bi-deck on? Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, that game had like snow skate clips, right?
Yeah. Oh, it had clips in it?
Yeah.
Like a Tony Hawk Pro Skater secret tape type thing?
Kind of, yeah. It was like if you beat it was like if you beat some part of the snow skate career or whatever, there was like snow skate clips.
What?
Yeah.
I did not. I need to see this. I did not know this. I remember playing the game.
This is amazing. I need to interject for a second, because we recorded a podcast with Nick Ahrens that'll be coming out soon, and he was talking about Amp 2 and the implementation of snow skating in that game. And that was a fantastic discussion. Hopefully by the time you're listening to this, that episode will be out. But the snow skate clips were not referenced. So this is another reason why I need to go get my hands on a copy of Amp 2 and see what's going on here.
That was a great game.
I'm going to pick one up if I see it thrifting. I've played the game. I didn't know there was like secret clips though. Yeah,
I forget how you get to those clips. Maybe you have to beat some snow skate stuff. But yeah, it was bi-decking in the game.
Yep.
But then the clips were single decking. And I think it was like a couple of years before it turned it out. It was like, I forget what footage it was, but there was a couple little cutscenes. And I was like, whoa, that looks cool. And I was just like 14. And then my parents got me like NG2. It was like green.
Oh yeah.
I had like the tail and the nose were like flat. Right?
Yeah,
right?
I know.
Yeah.
Isn't that one really skinny too?
Yeah, it's skinny. And the tail and the nose is kind of like flat on the top.
Yep.
And then just use that thing and had a blast on it. My buddy got one of those fortresses. Those things didn't work.
Oh yeah, that was my first board. Was
one
a fortress.
One of the super flexy fortresses, or one of like the rock hard fortresses?
I forget.
All the fortresses were bendy and shitty.
Yeah.
The rock hard ones, like the hard injected plastic ones, that had a different name. I can't.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
But yeah, no, super steep.
Yeah. No, this was bendy. This was a bendy one.
Okay.
Yeah, got that thing, and then I'd film, put it in the snowboard video in the bonus, and then let's see, and then I made my last snowboard video was my freshman year of college. I wanted to make like a big proper pro one with like strictly kind of street snowboarding, because we were all freshmen in college. And then I put a little snow skate thing in there in the bonus. And then the next year I was done making snowboard videos. It was just too much work. too much work. And and I was like, I think that was the year actually that Alex made the first board, right? Was it 07, 08?
Yep. Made that. Yeah, the team board.
Yeah. So right as I was like, okay, I don't have to do that this winter. I could do something else. And then Blay had those boards, and I was like, whoa, these things look way sicker than the, Isaac Hebert wood, or, with the spider, with those old wood boards. So Crow and I, Alex Crowcroft, what's up, Crow? We got those boards somehow. I don't know if we paid for them or what, but we got them. And then we weren't living together yet, but he was at UVM. I was at the other college in town. And so we were meeting up, and we filmed, and we made those 2 parts that we put on YouTube. He had one, I had one, and then like Clay had some other footage in there. And then I think Blay saw that on my YouTube. He saw those, and he saw that we were into it. And then I think maybe he'd also seen that snowboard video that I made the year before that. And he's like, oh, this guy's into filming. He's into snow skating. So I think he put that together and was like, all right, we're going to make this video. And then he like contacted me somehow. I forget how he would have contacted me back then, but
MSN.
Yeah.
That's how I used to talk to you and Alex. So maybe
AOL Instant Messenger.
Right. I do have some more questions about your timeline. If we could go into detail, if you don't mind a little bit.
Sure.
So, how did you like get into skateboarding as a whole? I mean, obviously it sounded like you skateboarded and snowboarded before you even got into snow skating. So you started skateboarding when you were younger then, I'm guessing?
Yeah, same time, like 2000.
You just thought it was badass or something? You're like, I want to do that?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, that whole time period for snowboarding and skateboarding, there was like a real energy in those videos, like 02, 03, like, yeah, right. And
oh yeah, that's true.
Like snowboarding had like pop, and what was the other, like there was just like energy there. It's like, oh, I got to do that. Got to be a part of that. So yeah, snowboard, skateboard, and
are any of those videos online? And you don't have to share them if you don't want people to see them. I know they're old, but like, are they out there? Can you still find them?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll pick your brain about finding them if you don't want to publicly share where they're at. But I'd love to see them.
They're on my YouTube. My buddy told me, he's like, you got to upload all your old videos from your hard drive. So I was like, all right. So I just put everything on there.
Yeah, it's true. You got to archive that stuff. Even if like at a certain point you look back and you're like, oh, I was such like a dumb kid or embarrassed by it. Then years go by and you're like, damn, I wish I still had it. So I think it's good to archive all that stuff, even if it's just goofy or whatever.
Yeah, why not? Who cares?
Right. So then at some point you were in a video called White Contrast. This is before you got involved with Ambition. This was before Ambition even made boards, and that was 05, 06. So you must have had footage out there in some capacity, right? To be involved with that?
Yeah, that footage was from the winter of 2006. And I had slipped. It was like a little backyard part I filmed in a day. And I put it into the DVD, like a bonus feature of that snowboard video of the year. And then, but I was also on the Premiere Forum and stuff. So I kind of was talking to people. And then Justin Majeski was editing that video, I believe, at the time. And he's like, hey, you want to, give me your clips and maybe I'll put them in here. I was like, all right. So I sent him those and he put a couple in, and that was pretty cool.
That's how that happened. Premiere Forums.
That video was a big step up from Turn It Out. That was
like a monumental video at the time. And if you watch them, there's a sharp contrast between those videos and all the videos prior, like Better Right Away, just a step up in skill level, obviously editing, everything about that video was pretty big at the time.
Yeah. And the cameras, I think a lot of it was just like the trajectory of cameras was like, you went from, I mean, the pro guys had 16 mil and nice stuff. But if you're just like a kid in 2002, you've got this little tiny like mini DV cam that shoots like 240p or something, or not even P, 240.
Yeah.
So that's like Turn It Out footage. And then maybe people start getting like the cameras were just like whoop, and then you had HD in like 08, like 6 years later or less.
Right. Yeah, that video definitely showcased like the direction that snow skating was heading in. Another big one being like True Color too. That was like the right of snow skating in my opinion or something. It was like, oh shit. Like I I was not that hyped for a video since White Contrast. And then when True Color came out, I was like, whoa, this is a big step up production wise, skill wise, everything, just, which obviously you had a lot to do with. So we can talk about that too.
I got some good stories. I got from later or whatever. I got 2 written down.
Yeah, I mean, we can get into them right now if we want to start talking about the True Color era.
Well, yeah, I'd love to.
I'd love to. So yeah, how did you start getting more formally connected with Ambition and start to get involved in actually filming what became True Color?
Well, Blay saw that Crow and I made those parts in 2008. And then he probably also saw maybe, because I have my YouTube with all that stuff. So he probably saw like my snowboard video stuff. And so he must have contacted me somehow, maybe probably through some forum at the time. I forget what it was. And he's like, hey, I'm in Sherbrooke. Or I guess I knew he was in Sherbrooke because we got his boards. But once I got the boards and we were riding the boards, Alex and I, we were probably talking to him. And then he's like, hey, I'd like the video or the parts you made with Crowcroft. And then we want to make this video. And we got like, I don't know if like Logan, he said Logan's filming over here and we could have you filming. And at the time, it's not like now where everyone has like wicked good cameras. It's like if you were the guy with the good camera, I mean, not totally. I mean, I was into it, but you save up your money, you buy the sick camera, and now you're the guy with the camera. And you go like, we're gonna fly everyone to the city where the guy with the camera is. We're gonna, you know what I mean? It's like so crazy. But yeah, so he must contacted me, saw that stuff, and then he started just like Crowcroft and I were already off and running, so he knew we were good. And then Logan, luckily, Logan was doing his project that same year. And he was really into that. So he was filming with Bjorn and like Alan and Phil, like Midwest guys. And then on the team trip, everyone came to Burlington, and then we rented a van, like a YMCA van or a skate van. And then we went, Montreal's only 2 hours away. So we went to Montreal. We didn't go to Sherbrooke. And then we met up with Provost, and Siggy was up there, and then Blay and Emil and Robbie Gobet and maybe Rico. Those guys came from Sherbrooke, and that was wicked fun. Yeah, we just like we would snow skate into the night and just. I brought my iMac with me in the van. And I set it up.
The desktop.
Oh yeah, like the 27-inch. I was so into it. I was like, dude, I don't want to have to come home and like, and you want to stoke people out like during the trip, like put all the footage together. So sure. I like wrapped my 27-inch iMac in like a comforter and like put it in the back of the van, and then I set it up in Josh Siggy's apartment, like in his kitchen, and then like every night we just come back, dump the footage, and like cut it all together. It was fun.
That's amazing. And what camera were you filming on at this time?
Sorry, go ahead.
It was let me give you the camera. I had a GL2 for a little bit, and then first it was a little mini cam, then a GL2, and then I got the Panasonic DVX 100A because I'd seen footage of it on this forum DVX user, and it just looked so sick. It's just like the colors were amazing. It had that 24 frame thing, which was like the cinematic look. And it just looked so much better than like, I thought, than a VX or a GL2. It just looked sick. And so I had that, and it was mini DV tapes and then the iMac.
Oh, amazing. And sorry, Zach, what were you going to say?
I wanted to comment on the van.
Yeah.
A couple of things with that. I won't get into it. I'm not going to steal your story if you have one, if that's one of them. But
no, go ahead.
I would like to point out that it's crazy that you guys got a van. It's like, to me, that's when I think about like a tour, like a skate tour, and those videos on skate trips, like they rent a van, and I don't think we've ever rented a van with Ambition till this day. Like we've never like rented a van and went on a trip really. So it's crazy to think like you guys got to do that. And I remember I was just like Flo at that time. I was just starting out with Ambition, but I remember hearing you guys got a van, and maybe you can elaborate more on what happened with the van. But I remember thinking like, these guys are a real skate team. Like, holy shit, they got a van.
Yeah, you'd have to ask Blake, because he was the one paying for it. I don't know. I guess it was because if you have like Alan and Phil and Logan and these guys flying into Burlington, and they don't have cars, that we all have to. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe why didn't they just have those guys fly straight to Montreal? Or I don't know, but yeah, we got the van. We had a van for Aliens too. And so we got the van from this place called Rent-A-Wreck in Burlington, and we piled it, we stuffed it full, and then we drove up, and I think Phil Smodge was drinking like a bottle of wine before we got to the border, and he like finished it, or we were getting close to the border, and we're like, dude, you got to get rid of that thing. And he's like, oh shit. So he finishes this bottle of wine. We're on the highway, and he just flings it out the window, and he didn't like throw it right, and it just smashed the rear view or the side view mirror. And Blake wasn't with us, but we're like, oh Jesus Christ, here we go.
How does that even happen? Isn't that in front of him in the mirror?
Or the like the rear view mirrors on the side.
Oh, so like he was sitting shotgun and just threw it out like kind of.
Yeah, forward? he was in the passenger seat and went to go fling it, but it's like a van, so it's got those big, like, you know, rear view mirrors, and it just. and we didn't. I don't know when Blake figured it out, or when we told him, or he probably saw it when we got there. But yeah, it was the guy when we returned the van. The guy at Rent-A-Wreck was so pissed. He's like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "You guys," because that wasn't the only. He had like other qualms with what we did, or we just left it a mess or whatever.
Yeah, I have some other comments. This is only from my fly on the wall perspective. We used to have this place on the Ambition forum for a time called the Treehouse, and it was where all the team came together. Again, I was just a lowly grom at the time. I was nothing, and I was reading secondhand or whatever everything that was going on this trip, and I remember Blake kind of reprimanding everyone and being like, guys, like, what happened with the van, like in the Treehouse, being like there was like cigarette burns or something in the seats, and like I got charged all this money. Like, did that do you have any recollection of, was the van like destroyed? Like, from my perspective, I was like, they fucked that van up.
No, dude. I don't know if it was. I mean, the mirror was broken.
Yeah,
and I don't know. Yeah, there's probably. I don't remember the inside. I don't think it was just probably dirty. Yeah. But I think the guy that owned the rental company had just never seen anyone, like, just a bunch of hooligans. We're like a bunch of 19-year-olds or something.
Yeah.
Just like, and then when we came back during Aliens, it was just Crow and I coming over the border, and they stopped us for like hours, and they brought out like drug sniffing dogs. 'Cause I mean, we just looked ridiculous, and, didn't find any weed or anything, so that was good. Let us go.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we've had our run-ins with the borders. We'll leave it at that. But
yeah, it sucks.
I was gonna say that's like a recurring story on this, is everyone has trouble crossing the border. And my first thing, you said you had a van, and your full van, and you crossed the border. You didn't have any issues going into Canada?
No, I don't think so. No, not. On True Color, no issues going up or back. The only one I remember is coming back from Aliens. And probably just because, Crow is wearing a tie-dye, and we're all looking, I don't know, nothing, we both look probably ridiculous.
Yeah, I remember that Crow clip of the van. I think it was the intro to his part.
Yeah.
When he's just like making those weird voices or whatever. Oh, that was such a cool clip. I always liked that.
Yeah. It's so
I know
funny.
We're kind of skipping ahead, but yeah, there was something special about Aliens and the way that was edited and the way it came out. Like, it just felt so different, contrasting to True Color, which is like, like just a classic banger style snow skate video. Whereas Aliens was it was more fun. So was that intentional on your part, the way that you were filming and putting the video together?
I don't think it was the way I was filming necessarily, but the edit for sure, and the music selection and stuff. Because basically, True Color is Blaze baby. This is like his first video for his company. He knows it's going to be sick. He's got, Logan's filming. It's going to be good footage. And he just wants like you know, in your face, to the point, ramp slow-mos, the whole nine. And I actually wanted to call True Color other folks. I was always kind of like pulling him towards the like little more, not modest, but a little more alternative kind of side.
I remember that.
I'm glad we didn't call it that. But yeah, so that was like, you know, we did that one, and then I was like, all right, I don't want to do another one of those. Like, let's do something different. And at the time, the snowboard videos was like, that's it, that's all. It was like wicked big and M83 or whatever, like crazy slow-mo, like just too much over the top.
Yeah.
So I was like, we got to like do something weird and different, and just weird's always good.
Yes. Fully agreed.
Aliens aged well. That was one when it came out. I was like, again, with there being such a stark difference between the two, I was just like, man, I don't know about this one. But then like as I got a little older, I was like, I love this video.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hard sell because it's Snowskate videos are for like 15-year-old kids, so they're not going to like that kind of thing. But
right, and I was young at the time when it came out too.
Yeah,
you know, I was probably 17 or something. So I was like, where are the parts? Like, what's up with all this goofy stuff?
What is this African funk?
I obviously grew to love it. It was pretty quick, but yeah, I remember when it came out, I was like, "Oh, this is not True Color. Like, what's going on here?" And then eventually. Yeah, I came around to it.
The tricks were way sicker in Aliens. Like,
the tricks are so sick.
Alan's part is next level in that video. Still holds up really well. A lot of things in that video hold up, but also that video is just like a cult classic nowadays. I feel like.
I mean,
right.
I got a story before we. One more thing about True Color.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure Blaze can confirm it with you, but he saw the name. He was driving from Sherbrooke to Burlington because we would like go back and forth once in a while and meet up. And he went past this paint store in Montpelier. It's called True Colors. And it's like the name is really colorful. It's like right on Route 2. And every time I pass, I'm like, oh, there's Blay.
So is that where the name derived from?
I'm pretty sure. You could ask him, but I'm pretty sure. He's like, he's like, I think I got the name for the video. I was like, what is it? He goes, oh, I was just driving here and I went past this paint place called True Color and it was really colorful. And I was like, oh, sounds good.
That's awesome. I love these tidbits. This is stuff I don't know. I love to hear it.
Oh, this just came to me. This, do you remember, Stefani, I'm sure you do, that little trivia, like, find a thing that Ambition did as a promo when Aliens came out, because there were two images of Carl Sagan's head. I think it ultimately was.
I thought there was Bob Ross.
One of them was Bob Ross. One of them was Carl Sagan.
That's okay.
Okay.
There we go.
And it took like a little bit for people to find it, right?
Yeah, I think so. Well, people thought that the Quimp thing with the face mask, they thought that was one of them when it flashes Quimp. But it was like, Carl Sagan was like, I put him under the bridge when Mitch does like a front board. Mm-hmm. And then Bob Ross, I put him in the UFO on my sweater.
That's right.
Okay.
Before we skip too far ahead, do we get all the True Color stories that you had wanted? I know you said you had some earlier. I want to make sure we get them all. I'd love to hear them.
Well, okay. Max Hilty flew in from, where was it? He flew into Burlington, but we were already in Montreal. He's like, how do I get there? I think he took like a taxi, like a 2-hour taxi from Montreal straight to this Blainville skate park where we were, like at night, like this freezing cold night. Hilty just shows up in this taxi. We're like, what the hell?
It's so expensive.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I wanted to talk about a little bit about your fashion choices in True Color as long as we're still on it. I know it's something we've kind of referred to a little bit in future previous episodes of the podcast, but the African shirt, what was where did that come from?
I found it on the side of the road in Burlington and thought it was cool and colorful and it looked good on film. And and when your tricks aren't quite so good, you got to kind of make yourself look a little funky and weird, and it balances out. Yeah, it's just some African dashiki.
And then the pajama bottoms, I'll call you out on that. You one clip in True Color, you had pajama bottoms.
Yeah. shove it off the pole jam in the backyard.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the same video, Zach was wearing some. And then the next year I inadvertently called him out for wearing them, and no one noticed that I was also wearing them.
In Nick's defense, I was wearing some like loud, obnoxious, like
those are
South Park Simpson, like all over print pajamas. Yours were more mature when that's
yours had like creamies on them or something.
Yeah, it was just like a childish look. I was a child, but yeah. Someone had to call me out. They were just comfortable to snow skate in, and they're weirdly warm. But yeah, I mean, if we want to transition from that, there after True Color was done, when we were filming for Aliens, prior to it, Nick had made us a little filming guide, which was a little more serious than what I was used to at the time. If you want to get into the filming guide and some of the stuff that was on it. I think it was like people were going to be sending it, or people were sending in footage. You can't, one person or two people can't film everything. So I knew you guys were going to be filming your crew and blah, 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 and this crew. So I was like, all right, we got to like kind of lay a groundwork for filming and stuff so that the footage, elevate the footage. And so, it was like, what was it? It was no pajama pants. It was basically what I had in my mind was like Dave Engerer going wicked fast, wearing like tighter clothing, not like big like snowboard pants and big fluffy or big mittens and stuff. Like pretty much what Dave does, like going really fast, riding away a long time was one of them. And then probably some camera settings and stuff like, all right, we're all going to be at 60 interlaced, blah, blah, blah. Was that it? Right.
It was.
Yeah. One of them also was, I know, like shovel out the spot, including the stairs so you can see them. Yeah. The ride away one, I remember being like, make sure there's enough ride away, at least 10 feet, like in parentheses, it might've been or something. Like, so we would always make jokes like my crew, like, all right, bring out the measuring tape. Like we got to please Stefani. And like, we were just like, cause we were just kids and we weren't used to this kind of shit. And at the time, like we were definitely having fun with it and like kind of poking fun at it, but it was good. But it was what snow skating needed to push it in the right direction. Like maybe I was a little bitter I couldn't wear my South Park pajamas, but you were totally right. Like once you get older, you're like, dude, this is what snow skating needed. Like, like it had to be said, even if people didn't want to hear it. Like
you got to be like
having fun in the backyard, but it needs to get pushed.
Yeah, it's just tough enough to make it. It's tough enough to do it and make it look good as it is.
Totally.
It's like the least we can do is like, if you're trying to sell, basically the video is just trying to sell snow skates.
Right.
So it's like, all right, we got to make it look good. Right. So it's like, when we cut the clip, if you're still moving, that's going to be nice.
Truly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was probably some, I forget what else was on there, but there's something like that.
Yeah. And I mean, I was telling them before we started recording that I actually may have it still on an old hard drive. So after we get done here today, I'll sift through a bunch of old hard drives and see if I can find that filming guide. And if we do have it, maybe we could take a screenshot and throw it up with the post on Insta or something, or put it on the story.
love to see that. That'd be awesome.
I would love to see it too. Again, it's been years.
You had another thing we were talking about before about the polyester pants or whatever. I'd never thought of that. I thought that was you said that you heard that from Phil.
Yeah, Phil Smudge. He, like in True Color and probably before that, he had these slacks and they were like polyester kind of, or I don't know exactly. It's like still a weave. It's not like a snowboard pant, but it's like kind of thick and the snow would run off it a little easier. They wouldn't like just soak up water. And then, I found some at this like, resale shop. They're like old 70s golf disco. I don't know. They were really ugly. They had like plaid, but they were like a 1/4 inch thick. And they were like some synthetic material. And they worked great. They were kind of warm, you put long johns under them, but the snow would run off of them. So
it's a hot tip. I had never tried that.
And Phil stuck with that too. I mean, like that Marquette trip we took in 2016, Zach, we were all up there with you guys when Phil was up there. I mean, we all went thrifting one night and he bought like 3 pairs of slacks. He's like, oh dude, like I got the best slacks. Like I'm ready to go snow skate. Like I'm coming up. Like he was so hyped on them. I was like, oh, slacks might be the thing.
He's right though. Whatever that material is, it doesn't, like the water doesn't permeate as much, and it doesn't, like you wear jeans out there and those things are going to be like rock hard cuffs. You ever like feels like a bell at the bottom of your ankle. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, like freeze.
Yeah. And that was probably now you could probably wear some like more form-fitting kind of like ski touring Arc'teryx type stuff, right? Like a soft shell type, really thin, slim snowboard pant.
Right.
But I don't know if that stuff existed. So that was the next best thing, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, I still wear slacks when I snow skate. All my recent footage, it might look, and you can play them off as like Dickies or something, you know, like what you're going to see in skateboarding. But a lot of mine are name brand dress pants, and they are like a polyester or something. And they are way drier than skating in any other pants. And they're really stretchy too. There's like a nylon in there, like a 2% nylon. And it makes it so stretchy in the knees. It's really nice.
Can I just say one thing about, I think the perfect, something like that, or like a thin ski touring type pant. And then they need to make like, I mean, I don't know if they'll ever make it, but like a Vans high top, a snow version, but then with like a foot long Gore-Tex gaiter that you bring up over your pant and cinch at the top, then no snow goes into your shoe. Right. That's, I mean, like Alan kind of had those Muckalucks years ago. That's kind of the same thing, but of course it's not a Vans, and the top gaiter is like thick, but then you can at least keep snow out of your shoes.
I know. I miss the gaiter.
Yeah.
I'm picking snow to the tops of my ankles like all day when I snow skate.
I mean, like a big gaiter,
I know.
Yeah. Okay.
I want that even. Yeah. I would take either at this point. Like even like the ICO gaiter helped.
Yeah. The pants that I wear now, so I wear like, they're like fleece lined. Like I have a couple different pairs from like different companies, but they're like polyester, like something synthetic on the outside. So they function similarly to a slack. And even like a couple pairs of them do have like a little cinch around the ankle too. So I feel like it's almost the best of both worlds, but man, I might have to go the slacks route. Get a little bit less formal with it. That might be the play.
And the plastic, you guys do the plastic bags over your socks or what?
God, no.
I've tried it.
No.
It doesn't feel breathable, but I've tried it. It does work in terms of keeping your feet dry, but yeah, I'm not really about it either.
It's a little weird. Your foot, it keeps your foot dry. It's definitely your foot's like sliding around in the shoe a little more. Yeah. But if you want a dry foot, I mean,
I'd rather just bring like 3 pairs of socks and 3 pairs of shoes, you know, just change.
Yeah. My move is just to not snow skate that long. You know, I go to like 1 or 2 spots and I go home. So
yeah,
that's honestly true. But
when I was a kid, maybe I would just snow skate all day. Feet were soaked.
Yeah, when I used to when I would do park stuff, that's what it would always. I messed around a lot with like bags like that. I don't remember even what video I first saw someone do that in, but someone did it, and then I tried it, and then I'd like do a little park building, do a little skating. So like you kind of do. It does help too to insulate a little bit, but
I thought Alan did it first, maybe. I don't know.
It could be.
I know he used to do it for sure.
Yeah,
he's not doing it recently, but yeah, he was on that for a while. Before we move on, I want to talk about your YouTube channel for a little bit, because you had some banger YouTube videos out there for a while. And the one video that I want to call out, I'm not sure if you remember this, but I hope it still exists. The Never Let Your Dad Film Fisheye video.
No, doesn't exist.
That video's awesome. Dude, that video's awesome.
Dude, I've been looking for that for like 10 years. Like you took that out, or you took that down a long time ago, but man, it was so good.
Yeah, that was funny. I put the YouTube channel back up, and I put everything I have. So if you go on there, it's just that's all I got. But yeah, that one didn't make it. A couple of them didn't make it. But
that video is awesome. And for those listening, it was your dad filming you try a trick. It was like a box, right? You were trying like a nose press trick on it.
I was trying to I think I was trying to redo the nose press, or no, I was trying to do nose press shove 5-0 shove.
Okay. And your dad is filming you and he's having a hell of a time with it and you're trying to guide him, but his commentary is just like hilarious. Like, did he say something like, I don't know, this red light's on or something like that? Just,
it's just,
I can't remember all the quotes, but
I forget.
It's so good.
I can't believe you remember that.
Well, that video's hilarious. I remember it too.
That was influential. Like I was on your YouTube channel a lot as a kid, like the Games of Skate that you had uploaded, like to the Dr. Dre instrumentals, like super, super stoked on that. Spent a lot of time on that channel.
Still
and
there.
the last video that you were involved in was Skrill Clinton, and that was kind of your exit for snow skating.
Sure.
Or at least being involved with snow skating production?
Yeah. So we did Aliens and had a blast with that. And then and then the name behind here, before we get into this, I'll just tell you the name behind Aliens.
Oh, please.
Aliens, we had this professor at our college who was like a conspiracy theorist, but he wasn't called a conspiracy theorist yet. He got us into Aliens. And then Sagi said that line, something about good snow skaters are like UFOs. Mm-hmm. So we were like, we were really into Aliens, so we called it that. And then the logo is that Snurfer guy is from a old 60s Brunswick Snurfer ad. I just chopped it out. And then the head, there is like this plastic like owl, these like owls that you keep birds away from your garden or something. Mm-hmm. There was this owl that was like making the rounds. It was like going around with people. Like Alan had it for a while and Blake had it or something. I don't know. It was just people would have it. And then we would mess with it and film it. And then Alan sent me a bunch of these photos one time from he's like, "Hey, I got some photos for you from out in Minneapolis." And he sends me these photos and I'm going through and they took this like ski mask and they put it on Hoot was the name of the owl. They put the ski mask on the owl. And I just thought it was so funny. So I put the owl head on there.
So that's an owl on the shirt.
Yeah, it's an owl.
Oh, shit.
It's like a plastic owl head.
Oh, I know the owls that you're talking about too. And plus it's in the video a bunch too. And Aliens. You guys are playing with it.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that's what it was though.
Yeah, me either. Huh. That stance is so funny.
Yeah. His front foot is like totally pointed forward.
It's like
and then the Skrill Clinton name came from Alan and I would like text back and forth like different people's names, but put the word Skrill. So it was like Paris Skrilton, Skrilly Joel, take any William, Bill, Skrill Murray, anything like that. So we'd like text back and forth. And then someone said Skrill Clinton, and then we just used that. And yeah, I filmed some of it. Not as much as I had on the other ones. I think Dave came and we did that box off the big drop thing.
Oh yeah.
And then and Plays came up and we did the like Alpine slide. And then I edited it. And then at the end of Skrill Clinton, I was like just kind of no one else was in my area wanted to snow skate or everyone snowboards around here. So I was like, Blay, this is your company, man. You're going to be way more juiced on this than me. So I kind of just gave it to him. And then you guys made Sava. That video was sick.
Yeah, that was
amazing.
That was
the fact that you were at the
monumental one. Yeah.
So
that was a sick premiere.
That was a blast. That was insane.
Yeah. I think that's the only time I've met you.
Yeah. Zach met both you guys.
And going back to Skrill Clinton for a second, did you make the teaser?
Yes.
Okay, because that is still one of my favorite snow skating productions. If you haven't seen it, go seek it out because it is incredible. It's so hype.
You know why it's you know why it's so aggressive?
Because of the 8-ball MJG track?
Well, yeah. No, that was DJ Quick.
No, that was MC8.
MC8. Yeah, MC8.
Yeah.
After Aliens, I went up to Sherbrooke to I would bring DVDs up to drive them up to Alex's or whatever. And I went up there and he's like, all right. He's like, Aliens was good. But like this year, give it a little, he was like basically cracking me the whip. Like, don't make any more of that weird shit, which I wasn't going to, it wasn't my plan was to make more Aliens, but I was like, all right. So that teaser was like me like, oh, you don't think I don't still got it? And yeah, that teaser was great.
I love Skrill Clinton. That's like compared to like the previous videos, Skrill Clinton kind of felt like a stripped down, like here are the tricks, cut the fat, still some goofy stuff that, sprinkled in like Aliens had. It kind of felt like a stripped down, condensed like hybrid of the two videos.
Yeah,
there's some really good stuff in it still. Holds up today as well.
I think it's a good mix because True Color, you have the tricks and the classic. You have like the ramp slow-mos and stuff, but there's no personality. You never get to like meet these guys. So, and then Aliens was like a lot of personality. Just like, all right, we're just hanging out with these guys. This is all raw footage pretty much.
Yeah.
And then, Skrill Clinton is like, all right, we're going to go hard, but, we're also going to talk a little bit or whatever.
Yeah. There's some good jokes in there, little one-liners and stuff.
Is the red light supposed to be on?
Yeah, that's in there too.
I still quote that all the time. So good. Well, we do want to talk about Takeout, the newest video from Ambition, but anything else from the videos that you were involved with before we move on, Nick?
I want to tell one more Phil Smodge story.
Yes.
Yeah.
Always encouraged.
We are, I think it was Alan, Phil, and I, and we went to this hotel in Burlington. We like just snuck in and we're using their hot tub. And
sorry. He has a track record of that. I have a story with us sneaking into a hot tub too that I won't get into, but like we got
hot tubs.
Yeah, we got caught doing that once with Phil too when I was a kid. Anyway.
Yeah, he loves hot tubs. He's like, we got to go to a hot tub, man. I got to like relax my muscles. So we go to this hot tub. We're in there, and then like this guy, they're about our age, maybe a little younger. This guy and his girlfriend come in, and they sit in the hot tub. And now it's like 5 of us in this hot tub, pretty small hot tub. And you know how Phil is with the gals. And he's chatting this girl up right in front of her boyfriend. He's like, yeah, I ride motorcycles, I snow skate. And he's like talking about his goat. He's like going off. And before you know it, he's like, hey, I'm going to go out to the hallway to get some water. You want to come with me? To this guy's girlfriend. And she's like, yeah, I'll come with you. So this guy's girlfriend gets up, leaves with Phil to go get water. And then Alan and I are just sitting across from this boyfriend. Like, it's so awkward. And then it finally clicked. He's like, what the fuck's just happened? And he gets up and jets out to go get his girlfriend.
That is amazing.
Oh, Phil just took her right from him. It was amazing.
If you know Phil, it's even funnier and makes maybe a little too much sense. He's a sweet talker. He's a charmer.
I mean, it was in, what was that clip in Robbie Provost's like music machines, like get bitch like Phil's ass.
I don't
know anything about this.
I don't either.
I forget what it was. One of the videos.
Gosh.
Oh, incredible. All right, let's take a quick break and then let's talk about Takeout. All right, we are back from our non-Zoom break and ready to talk about Takeout. So, Nick, let's start with your initial impressions with the video. And did you see anything in what Ambition's doing now with their video productions versus what you were doing? Like, are there certain things where you're like, wow, I wish I would have done that, or like done or known that, 12 years ago when I was making videos, or you're like, nah, fuck this shit, mine was way better. Like, what were your thoughts?
Well, it's definitely more like, it's more internet. It's not, you don't like build up the intro. It's just like, boom, straight to the point. Like the video starts, It's like Ambition, boom, there's a trick within like, probably 10 seconds or something.
Yeah.
So it's definitely more like, I mean, it has to be on the internet though. And I like how they're shorter. They're like more manageable, especially like the Bleached series. It makes sense to have them shorter.
Yeah.
And I think it's good. The music's good. The music's actually like, modern, which I never used modern music, but yeah, it makes it look cool as shit. Definitely makes it look cool.
Yeah, and on the music, I really like the part where they incorporated Raph driving up in that fucking BMW or whatever it was, and like whatever he was doing, and then like use that song for a little bit. I just thought that was cool.
Yeah,
that was a fun little section.
Yeah, I like
anything else about you, Nick?
I like the backside flip. Was like one of the sickest looking backside flips, I think. I mean,
I had that noted down as well. That was one of the best ones I've ever seen.
Those guys are so good at skating, so it's like, dude. And then the big drop by Raph was awesome.
Yeah.
That was enormous. Wish he had kind of shoveled out the landing so he could ride away further, but hey.
He didn't have the filming guide,
No, he didn't have the guide, man. If he would have had it, he would have known. He could have measured.
No, that was really sick. That was huge. and I like the Neil Berg board kickflip.
Yeah. OG.
Cool, that was
it was like a big. I mean, people have done that. Like Zach, you did what, front board kickflip, right?
Yeah.
But the one Neil did was cool. It was like pretty big. Like the landing was falling away.
Yeah. The spot jump definitely made it way cooler than like just a standard flat bar board flip out.
That was cool. And I like Neil. What's up, Neil?
Yeah. Neil's the man.
CC got the clip there too. That was sick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then the other thing I thought was cool, only some of the stuff I can't relate to because I just can't, like the front heel was amazing. I just can't relate to it. But what I did like was the Morgan fakie flip and the fakie heel, because it's so hard to ride fakie. Like it's so, you guys know.
Oh yeah.
It's like nearly impossible. And then doing it into the bank. So, you know, anything where you just land and you keep moving and it looks better.
And you used to do fakie stuff. Like you did there was that little, what did you call it? I don't remember what it was, but the college spot where you used to skate, like that, like ledge, that little drop bank thing.
Yeah.
Like you did fakie tray. Yeah. You got fakie tray. You got some fakie tricks there too.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you remember?
I did fakie tray, fakie flip, fakie heel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Has anyone done the fakie full cab yet? You did it?
Yeah, I just off a kicker. I haven't done it like an actual spot, but
damn, that's got to be so hard. It's so hard to like wind up anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's way easier than doing like a back three though, because you can like kind of stop yourself and gain some torque. But because you're like stopping and planting on your, I guess if you're regular, like your right foot or whatever, versus if you're trying to do a back three, you end up not really getting that torque and just kind of sliding out when you pop. You know,
so fakie you can kind of like plant and kind of use it as like a spindle.
Yes, you still slide a little bit, but for me at least it's easier. Like again, the hardest part, I mean, Jack and I joke about this all the time. Like the hardest part of snow skating is getting to the obstacle, and that's like even more true riding fakie, you know?
Yeah.
But once you get there, it's easier than a back three for sure.
I tried the back three in you come in fakie and then you rotate like a quick 180 beforehand to get your body in motion.
Oh.
That's you know what I mean? Like come in.
Yeah, like kind of how totally. If you did like a half cab Manny 180 or something, it's like when you're already in that momentum, it kind of helps the spin follow through.
Run, jump on fakie, and then it works better when it's slightly downhill or grass or something. But then just don't ollie, just like spin around a little half cab on your tail, and then you're like kind of ready to go.
But don't you have a trick like that in your aliens part? You do like a 180 and then into like the next trick that follows that same motion.
Yeah,
it's like a big spin of some sort.
Yeah, but I was trying the three. Anyways, back to Takeout.
Oh man, I want to talk about fakie tricks now, because you could do that going regular and do the 180 and then be set up for the full cab. Instead of throwing down fakie and trying back three, you throw it on regular, do the little pivot, and then do the full cab.
Oh, do a backside pivot? Backside pivot? That would be cool.
I want to try that. I've never thought of that before. All right, now we can go back to Takeout.
I think that's
a great idea.
I think it just looks cool anyways. It like kind of gives this extra energy. And if you did little quick swivel or backside swivel, then you might have the momentum.
Or you
even
find
just like a little quick like back 180 or something, you know?
Say find a spot with 2 stair sets in a row, hit a back 180 on the first one, get set up. I don't know if it really carries the same momentum that you guys are kind of getting at, but anyway.
It'd be incredible. Anyway, back to Takeout.
Yeah.
Anything else jumped out, or should we go around the horn, Nick?
Go ahead. Those are mine.
All right, Andrew, let's go to you.
Speaking of fakie, kind of related, Phil Morrow's nollie flip.
Yeah, that's a nollie flip.
Awesome.
Really just
hard
proper.
Trick.
Yeah, really proper. Always a pleasure to see that one done well. I think this film, whatever you want to call it,
cinema
motion picture. Yeah. We were talking about this is like a kind of a different format, kind of focusing on these younger Quebec guys, said Raf, Morgan DT. And then you kind of get your little tastes of some of the older riders on the team. I thought that for a 1 year film. I think that's a really good, and like the tricks for themselves. I mean, some of the notes I had right off the bat and Sed's part. I mean, these are like Tony Hawk combos. Some of these guys I had for Sed's part came out really strong, and I also had to give props to him. They went to the office for the Montreal Canadiens. I liked seeing that. I got to see Sed shoot a puck, top corns. You know, it's really set the tone for his part. You know, got pucks deep, play the boards. You know, he's got there getting all the. Let's see.
He's been going to so many Habs games too. It's sick.
Oh, I mean, it's a kind of an analogy for his part. I thought it was really cool because he's just put in the work. So he did that. What was it? Where was it? Who am I thinking of? Oh no, that gap. So his big gap towards the end of his part, in Sed's part, at the coiffure. The gap. It's like a gap, and then there's a big. I mean, it looks huge.
It looks enormous, yeah.
And just like a really clean straight ollie. I mean, that was like, because it's the distance and then the drop. I mean, that's like, I thought that really stuck out to me. That's really like a one you got to huck yourself down, and like that really stood out to me for Sed's part.
Is that the one where he like it goes? There's like some grass and then there's like a retaining wall.
Yeah.
That I just saw that. I was like, oh, that thing's gonna be way bigger than it looks.
Yeah,
on video.
you really only see it for like that angle where you're seeing it front. You only see it for like a second. But I was like, that spot is a lot bigger than it looks. I can tell.
And you probably have to go out pretty far.
Yeah, you need a lot of speed, I think, too. And then kickflip late shove too. I thought that was his ender for Sed.
That was so cool.
There's so many. I don't know if that's just like the style in Montreal, but there was so many like late back foot, late 180 kind of stuff in this video. I was just like blown away. And actually, Nick is a good one to have on, because I remember you in True Color had a really early. I think one of the maybe the first times I've seen anything, but you had a little late back foot thing in True Color. I think.
Yeah, it's a shove it. You do a shove it. People thought it was a varial flip, I think, but you do a shove it and then you leave your back foot like down. Then you pull your back foot up and it like flips. But Justin Majeski had the proper back foot flips.
Oh yeah, he had a nice one.
Yeah. At that time.
Love to see it. I mean, I think I saw a few variations. Morgan DT, the heel flip late 180 over the guardrail.
Yeah, that looked really nice.
Now I got to call something out on that. Did you guys notice, and this is not me bagging on the trick because it looks fucking amazing, but did you guys notice that the board actually hits the rail for a split second in that clip?
And then Blay must have cut the audio out.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that piece. It took me a while. Alan actually called it out to me. I didn't recognize it after watching it, but I was like,
that makes it look sick though, because it went up into his feet like that.
Yeah, it like pops and kind of sucks up, and that way he can just like catch it and do the 180, and it looks so good. Yeah. Again, not taking anything away from the trick because he just handled it, but
no, it happens.
To note. Yeah,
I had to take out like some, on stuff for people to try to pop out, but they hit their tail and it makes the sound. Yeah, I took a couple of those out, one of my own.
Oh, interesting. Little audio manipulation.
Yeah, artists' creative freedom.
Talking too about the technicality of Morgan's part. We were talking earlier, this one, the nose press varial heel out on that granite thing. I mean, to be in the, I wish I had one of those Tech Deck snow skates that you guys made. It'd be great. We do this all the time on the podcast. We're always talking about, but like you're in and then to bring it forward, and then the way that he did it out. I mean, when you're already down for that press, yeah. I mean, and then to be able to pop it forward like that, I thought that was great.
Man, that is the finger snow skate. So that's such a wasted opportunity for the podcast for how often we do that with like just like cell phones or whatever. Like I never thought of it until now. Like, damn it, I never got one. I should have.
I don't even have one, and it's my board.
Really, you didn't get one?
I think I will. I don't have one right now. And I was like, please just save one for, I think he saved one for everyone on the team, but they're a hot commodity and the guy hand makes them. So, I mean, when he posted that, you'd be surprised how many people hit us up about.
Yeah, I imagine they didn't make that many, but they still went out really quick. Cause I was like kind of thinking like, maybe I'll try and get one. Maybe I won't. And they were gone like that. So,
yeah, I mean,
I
didn't realize how many people want them. I had so many of my friends hitting me up like, dude, can you get me one? I'm like, I don't have one. I don't think so. I'm sorry. Yeah. Anyways, back to Takeout, but we could.
Yeah, I mean, I can keep going. I have a lot of notes from this one. But yeah, like I was saying, I think it really focuses on said Raf, Morgan DT, Stephen Pestalozzi.
Oh yeah, my boy Steven up in Duluth.
Right in the middle. Also had some really sick stuff. The fence pole jam, I think that was his ender. Just get some big air. That's just fun. I mean, that's just so fun to see someone.
And that pole jam shove off the bench was cool. I don't think that was him.
Yeah.
But...
Oh wait, pole jam. No, I think that was he had in his part two. He grinded that capped rail too that had the skate stoppers on it.
Yeah.
And if you remember like that out rail, like that 3-stair long 3.
Oh yeah, because
that was cool to see that rail get hit.
I got some tricks down that like long 3-stair or 2-stair, whatever, back in the day, but I never even looked at that rail as an option. Like I'm not trying to skate stuff like that. My friends at the time definitely weren't either, but it was so cool to like see a lot of the spots that I skated growing up, like skated in a completely different way. Yeah, Steven's just the best. He's so good. I love watching that dude skate.
Yeah, the ride. So he did. This is one thing too that I really liked. It just looks fun. I think towards the beginning of his part, he did a ride on handrail into like a really narrow, steep stairwell. He bombed this. He did like a ride on handrail down into a stairwell, and then went down like 2 or 3 more stair sets covered in snow. And I was just like, I mean, that is. If you've ever been in those scenarios where you're like, you don't have a lot of margin for error and you control, I mean, that was just sick. I just thought that was just.
Yeah, that looks super steep.
Yeah. That was a good part. Yeah, we can talk about a few other, I mean, I can list, I feel like a lot of friends too got on this. It was, Anthony Sell.
Yeah, stoked to see some footy from him. I think it was just the one clip, but that was a big rail.
Charlo had a few tricks, so it was good to see some stuff from him. Really clean 50-50, just pop out. Starting in a tree. I liked the creativity there.
And that's that's that spot that like down by the river that he had in this plastic addiction part. I'm pretty sure it's like a little walkway by the
reservoir.
Yeah. Classic.
And then just a really classic, clean flip tricks at a great heel flip towards the end. I mean,
got a good one.
Cool stuff. Yeah. Yeah, anything else jumping out? I don't mean to like take over if anyone else has anything else that jumped out him from Takeout.
I just kind of figured everyone was doing their own like favorite tricks. Oh, okay. I just wanted to let Andrew, talk about all his faves.
Yeah, he took some detailed notes. He had it covered.
Oh yeah, I mean, I have. I haven't talked about Raf's part. I liked the music too. It was kind of like a Euro. Like we talked about the music selection was much more modern. I thought Raf's part had a really cool thing. He really had a lot. Like he had a pretty dense part. Like I wrote Tony Hawk combos, rapid fire, just like some random notes. I mean, he was all over. Like I wanted to talk about that too because he had the late back foot, and then the next clip he did the late back foot double, and I was just like.
Wild trick.
I liked that they kept them both in. Yeah, it looked great. I mean,
dude, his skateboard clips are insane. He like airs out of that bowl onto that ledge and like
he'll do like a backflip straight up.
Crazy.
He's like a rocket power dude.
Can we talk about the current Snowskate popularity and like the buzz about? I don't want to intrude, but I think it's like there's definitely a thing happening since COVID with like all the selling out of everything and. You've got like pro skaters are riding stuff and seems to be kind of like, I don't know if it's like a novelty trend. It might be, but people seem to be into it.
Yeah, I'll pitch this one to Zach because Zach is best suited to answer this question.
Yeah, I guess I think it's a combination of things. And again, I think Alex could probably tell it better than anyone, but even from our discussions, I think a big part was obviously the COVID boom, everyone pushing towards outdoor sports. That was gigantic for us. But even I think our more proactive approach to social media, it is a good tool. You know, say what you will about it. There's obviously downsides of it too. And it's a game, you know, you got to compete with everyone else. It's a competitive atmosphere, but it's allowed us to expand, I think, a bunch. So I think the combination of those two things has really exposed snow skating to a much larger audience than YouTube ever could alone. And kind of just emphasizing that and focusing on it, I think it's helped a lot. But I think that's pretty much it. And I think also, I guess it puts us in touch. You say like some of like the pro dudes are able to like pick up a board now. And usually that's Ambition's doing. Like I'll talk to, and Alex will talk to a bunch of dudes, and we're very kind about giving them a board because we want to see them try it. You know, so that's why we've been seeing some of those dudes grab boards, at least partially. That's some of the reason. But I think that's kind of where all the popularity and some of this boom is coming from. Like you said, is it maybe short-lived, a novelty? I like to think that there's some longevity to it. I like to think that I think we will see it come down a little bit. I think it was sort of a bubble from COVID, but I think in the long run, a lot more people have been exposed to it. And I think also, I think it'll remain the biggest it's ever been, at least.
Yeah. I mean, it's just also like snowboarding is so like a season pass is like,
it's crazy right now.
$600-700. And that's just the pass. Then you got to get up there with gas prices and you got to buy all the gear. It's like, I think maybe COVID kept people, I feel it too, like still kind of just stay close to home. I'm not driving so far. So maybe that's, you know, snowboarding, you got to like drive in like an hour, sometimes more.
Right.
Snow skating, you kind of just, you know, dick around close to home.
Yeah, I think that is a huge part of the appeal to it as well. However, I always am concerned about the turnover rate of snow skating, just with people not really understanding the ins and out and what makes it, like what makes for a good session. I'm always afraid people will give snow skating a try and be like, well, this is fucking hard. This doesn't make sense. Those videos are deceiving, and be done with it. So like we were talking about with the tips and, you know, Blaze approach those tips. They're just so needed. And I hope that people heed that advice because it'll make for us seeing people who are actually snow skating long-term. You never know though.
Hopefully someone will do like a heel flip indie off the Sherbrooke cliff, you know, that'll just send it to the stratosphere.
Yeah. You know, and Nick had expressed to us that he wanted to do a PSA. We can do that whenever you feel the need to, or whenever you find it relevant. But now that we're talking about these young kids, we're talking about these young kids right now in Takeout. Maybe right now is a good time.
Young bucks, Raph, you got the big drop. Go to the Sherbrooke cliff. You're crazy good at skating. Do like a heel flip indie into the POW, kick flip indie, something like varial flip tail, Eric said, tray flip indie. I don't know, something big. That would be awesome. And that would that would blow up.
For people who don't know.
Be really classy. Like, yeah, be so sick.
Because I think it's the best mix of skating and snowboarding. You're doing a flip trick, which snowboarding can't do. And then you're doing a natural rock cliff into a big powder landing that skateboarding can't do. So it's kind of like I think it's like a sweet spot. And it's big, so people are impressed, I guess.
Yeah, it looks good. And if anyone's wondering what cliff drop Nick is specifically referring to, it's the last trick in Snowskate Aliens. I think Alan does the back 180 down it. For a moment there was a I guess this spot was a pretty hot spot in Sherbrooke, and it was a pretty big spot. And Nick had hit me up recently and was like, man, like these kids got what it takes to like handle this thing. I would love to see one of these kids go back and hit this thing.
They got it, man. I mean, if he can do a backflip on a skateboard, he can fall 10 feet into powder. Like you got it, man. You got it.
Right. I would love to see
giant roof drop.
That spot.
He can handle it.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
On a similar note, you said that this is something I don't want to talk about this today. I don't want to get into it all, but at some point, I think on this podcast, we should talk about the trend of snowboarders using snowboards as a snow skate. I want to talk to some more snowboarders before I have that discussion, but I think that's worth talking about at some point.
I find that
opinion. Fascinating.
It's like, it's funny. Like Scott Stevens kind of started that stuff, but it's almost as if like I love snowboarding, I love snow skating, anything, you know, I'm down for both. But it's funny how a lot of the times they'll do something that's so inconvenient, like the snowboarding skate tricks. It's like obviously, but they just don't, they're just afraid. They don't want to crest that hill. They don't want to pop that bubble of being on a snow skate. You know what I mean? It's like
some are willing, but a lot aren't.
Yeah. But it's cool stuff. I mean, shit, you got to start coming up with, you know, new creative stuff all the time, right?
Yeah, I think it's being more widely accepted and like not as kooky. Not that maybe it was ever heavily like a kooky thing, maybe like how scootering or some things get hate, you know. But I think for a while there, maybe snowboarders and people hate on snow skating. Not that I'm sure there's still hate out there, but you know, when you have like people like you said, pro skaters giving snow skating a try, it makes it look a little bit more legitimate. And I think people at some point too, you watch a video like Takeout, you're like, well, it's kind of hard to hate. This is fucking crazy at this point. The skill level is amazing. They're making it look good. It's hard to hate on that.
And when you like, Dave was kind of the first guy to do it. It's like when you're watching the snowskate, the video, and he's doing these tricks, and then you also realize that he's like better than you at skateboarding.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like a checkmate. You're like, fuck.
Yeah. You can't hate on that. Yeah.
Yeah. Zach, let's get into your noteworthy opinions on Takeout. What stood out to you?
Yeah, I didn't physically jot down notes, so I'll make this rather quick. But for me, I love Sed. I'm going to comment on him first because I think his style is impeccable. I don't care what he's really doing. It doesn't have to be the biggest thing. I just really like his style, and he looks good on a skateboard. He looks good on a snow skate. Throw Sed footage in front of me, and I'm a fan. That's pretty much it for me. However, that backside flip, and being someone who knows how hard the backside flips are, I love that trick, but it's hard. Certain conditions really hard. That is one of the best looking backside flips, I think, in all of snow skating.
Sick. Or Morgan's
coming from someone. Year. What's that?
Or Morgan's last year over the can.
Oh my gosh, that's another great looking one. Yeah.
Sick.
This is coming from someone who can do that trick, but wishes they looked as good as like those two examples, you know? Another person was Steven, and that's my kind of snow skater for sure. Someone like Steven, because, and I'm trying to figure out how to word this without it like seem like bashing. It's not bashing other people, but he has a very like mature approach to snow skating. Not that like I do like to watch like a crazy double flip. I'm down to be entertained, but he has a very like skater's perspective, like a skateboarding perspective. And I know how he is a skateboarder too, which I'm also a fan of. So watching him snow skate, and it's like clean, sometimes simple. And I mean, for the better tricks, I think that's all. I think he does it really well. And that board slide on the bench where he lands on the handle of the bench, like board slide to like 50 down the armrest, that hyped me up. I loved that.
I had that too. I like the creativity.
Gosh, what a cool trick. So yeah, and I didn't realize how much footage he had. So maybe that was just like a shocking, like I was really excited to see how much he actually got. But he looks good, and I'm a huge fan of him. Obviously seeing all the OGs, love those dudes too. But to kind of skip to the end here, Morgan, another new guy that I'm a huge fan of, that he had some tricks in there that I really like his style. Just like said, I think he's awesome to watch, but he had some tricks in there that were pretty mind blowing. Obviously we commented on the front heel earlier. That was a trick while watching it. I didn't understand what was about to happen because it was like a heel flip and then a late 180. Like I thought he was just going to heel flip it. And I was like, that's crazy to heel flip to get any pop on a snow skate. And then the moment he grabbed it and turned it, I was like, that was fucked up.
Yeah. It's like a heel flip late 180. It was incredible.
Yeah. Insane. I love the triple kink he did. I'm just a sucker for bendy handrails, just a nice like kinked handrail. Loved that. Big flip over the bench. That's amazing. I've skated that spot. It's hard to get like I big spin to that bench actually, and it was fucking hard to get like the lean and the pop to get over it. So big flip is fucked, you know. New appreciation for that trick, just being there and doing something not as cool. But also his what the fuck was his last trick was that nose press. That's like nose blunt. That was like maybe the coolest form of that trick that's ever been done and the most stylish version of it. I'll admit I was a little shocked. I was like, oh, that was his ender. And then I like, after kind of like rethinking it over, I'm like, yeah, but he made it look really cool. And it's not something you often see like on a ledge, like the spot called for it. I just thought that was a really good example of that trick.
I had a similar thought process to you, Zach, where that was my initial thought. I was like, oh, that was the ender. Like, okay, you know, like it looked really cool. And then I thought like it looked amazing. And then I thought about actually doing it with how long that ledge is, which you can't really see from the angle at the bottom, but like jumping into back nose blunt and holding it throughout that whole thing. I'm like, that'd be fucking terrifying.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I would shoot out onto my stomach or my knees on that thing.
Yeah. So
if I tried that.
too. Like, so yeah, once I like sat down and thought about it critically, I'm like, oh yeah, that does make a lot of sense. Yeah.
He's got such good control over his grinds. I mean, his first trick was that backside Smith. And you had to jump up to that ledge to then lock it in and then have it slant down like almost at a 45-degree angle. I mean, I was just like, this kid skates, you know?
Yeah, that was actually the last trick I wanted to call attention to, was that I'm going to call it a back lip, but like that back lip, like that thing is so tall and it's obvious how tall it is. And yeah, like Andrew just said, he had to gap into it a little bit over it onto that ledge. That's a phenomenal trick.
That trick got like the most comments on Instagram. Everyone's like, how the hell did he pop that thing? I can't pop mine.
Popping's one thing. Popping and turning into a back lip is another thing, at least for me. That's crazy.
Yep.
And it looks so uninviting to skate because you're skating a ledge, you're skating like a square thing, but it's a circular thing that you need to pop over too. It's not only high, but it's long. Like for me, that would just fuck me up mentally. And of course it's just big too. I think of that as the dime ledge because all the dime guys skate that thing. Like that's just, I was like, oh, he backed with the dime ledge. Like that's sick.
Right. But yeah, that was all the highlights for me that are coming to my mind right now. But I'm sure a lot of the ones you're about to say, Eric, might be overlapping with ours, but I'd love to hear your comments too.
Yeah, you guys definitely covered most of it. Just a couple general notes I had in the video. Like I thought it kind of had a little bit of an Aliens vibe, like Aliens and Gazpacho. And I love that. Closer to Gazpacho than Aliens, but
for sure.
Like Nick said, like in Aliens, but more for the internet age is a good way to like sum that up. Just a fun video to watch, right? Like Bleach is like a little bit more serious, but just fun, just good vibes throughout the video. Did want to call out Steven because Steven is just awesome, and skating with that dude is ridiculous. Like he's so good at skateboarding, he's so good at snow skating, and classy trick selection too. I think you guys covered all of the tricks that I had noted down, with the exception of Danny B's back three. Because that was the first back three, to my knowledge, that's been done in the streets, I think.
Really?
No.
I could be wrong.
I thought Zach did one.
I did one as well. But
you did one. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Even on Instagram, Dan's done them like, honestly, a handful of times now down some stairs in the streets.
Yeah, he's done it at the courthouse in Marquette. And you did one... I guess it was more of a park spot, so that's why I wasn't thinking about it as like street or whatever. But yeah, I'm incorrect on that take. I apologize for that. But
also,
still,
Rico did one.
I was going to say Rico might have done one.
Rico did one too. Okay.
In white contrast, like there's been some throughout time, but
it's hard.
That was like the best spot it's ever been done at. That was like a 3 block, so it's a more proper spot, I guess, than like a 5 stair. The dumb thing I did it off of, but yeah.
Yours was 6, Zach. And like thanks for correcting me, guys. You guys are the historians here.
Hey, the amphitheater was 1 foot, so. I remember sending a photo to Blay, like a long lens shot, and he's like, "That's the drop."
Need to film fisheye.
Yeah. Sorry,
it's funny.
Go ahead.
No, that's everything that I had. You guys covered pretty much everything else. I mean, it was only, I don't want to say only, but it was a 7-minute video. You know? It packed a lot in a pretty short time span.
I think that's the name of the game, though. I don't think the long form thing, especially for snow skating, it's like people, I don't know, it's
right. Yeah, unless you're a diehard snow skate fan. Like if you listen to this podcast, you might want to watch a half-hour, 40-minute snow skate video.
Who is still listening? Who's still listening out there?
I wonder that at the end of every episode. Blay? Trust me.
Is it Blay?
It's just Blay.
Blay and like 3 others.
It's all our friends, that's for sure. That's
All right, that's everything I had on Takeout. Any other final thoughts on Takeout before we move to the trivia section?
Good video. Keep it up, boys, and send the Sherbrooke Cliff.
Yeah, yes, there we go.
Please do.
Good summary.
Please. All right, Zach, take it over.
All right, let's get into trivia. Again, bear with me. I write a bunch. Ready? Yeah, please. Let's do this correctly this week. Where instead of having people just say it and someone else can steal their answer, we'll do like on the count of 3, show what you have on your paper.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I didn't really pick anything out specifically for today. I kind of just scroll through my notes because I always write a shit ton of them in here, and then I'm just gonna pick what feels right. So again, I'll try to sort from easiest to hardest in my humble opinion. But however, I notice that doesn't always apply to you guys. So what I think is easy doesn't normally, I don't know, translate.
You guys are going down.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
You're
definitely right.
To recap, I think Eric has from last time. I think I have 2. Eric has 3.
I've been keeping a running tally for Eric and Andrew this season. Right now, scores 3-2. Eric up by 1, 3-2. But yeah,
did
let's
we
get
not
into
count
it.
the first episode that we did then?
This is the first episode.
Yeah,
this is the score. Eric got 3 right. Andrew got 2 right.
I thought we did another one. Anyway, okay, never mind.
Well, you guys did. You guys did one other podcast without. You guys did the Wet Sox one.
Oh, that's right. That's what I'm thinking of. Yes. Never mind. Disregard me. Continue.
All right. Well, this is what I consider to be an easy question. Let's get into it. In the early 2000s, this skateboard company tried their hand at snow skates for a few years, creating numerous plastic boards. I think only 1 wood board, could be wrong, maybe 2, but 1 or 2 wood boards and a couple bidecks. Do you know what company this is?
A skateboard brand?
They made snowboards too, but I think they were primarily known as a skateboard brand.
Yeah. Okay.
Will you accept multiple answers, Zach?
No. Well, fuck. I guess there's other ones that could apply, but I'm thinking of. I guess that's why I put the number of. I know they only made. I'm almost positive they only made 2 bidecks. I think they only made 1 wood board. I've only ever seen the one I could find, and then a few and then like multiple plastics.
All right.
So that's why I tried to limit it. Funny enough, last Sunday I was at a local hill just fucking around with Dan and my buddy Tyler, and this kid had one of these boards, and I'd never seen one in person.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang. And it was so old, and it was shaped like this, like in the middle, it was like in the air. It was convex. It was insane. It didn't even like move.
All right, I got it.
Yeah, right. Let's go ahead and show them.
Oh yeah.
What do you have? Andrew's the only one who got it.
Okay, so I wrote down World Industries. And then
the wood Santa Cruz never made a wood board, as far as I know.
True.
I could be wrong, but I don't think Santa Cruz. They made a bideck for sure, and they made plastics, but they never made a wood board.
Damn. Yeah, it was your second comment that got me to change it. Damn.
I know. That's why I said they're primarily known as a skateboard company, because I know both of those companies made snowboards and skateboards, but
nice
World
job.
made snowboards too.
And now I think make pow surfs, I think.
Do they? Jeez.
From when
I
was just out in Colorado, and I was surprised at the amount of companies that are running to the pow surf thing, like they didn't learn from snow skating. But
I told Blay in 2011 to make pow surfs. I shit you not.
We do. I get a handful of questions every year in like the email or DM of people being like, "Can you guys make like a bigger, surfier board?" And I'm like, I don't really know if there's that big of a market for them. I'm like, you can try out the Virgin model, but I don't think we're ever going to go much bigger. It's not very surfy, but anyway.
Or that custom Gerlach,
right?
All right. Dang, that was unfortunate.
I knew there was going to be confusion. I shouldn't have put that even as an easy one. For me,
did you both put Santa Cruz? It's hard. I couldn't.
Yeah, Santa Cruz.
Oh, okay. Got it.
What I assume people might be their first guess too. I was like, people are going to guess this. Trick question, almost. Let's get into this one. This is a little more modern, not as old as the World Industries topic, but who had Ender and Ambition's Encore? And the bonus, you can get 1 extra point here. Or at least Eric and Andrew can get an extra point here if you can name what that trick was.
Okay.
The trick was okay. All right. I got it.
Eric, are you ready too?
Yep.
I got Dave.
I think everyone's wrong on this one.
No.
What?
Yeah, Josh Oakes had Ender of Encore.
Oh,
I was either shit. I either was gonna do Josh Oakes or Dave, and I thought, oh, is that the dear Dave? It was Josh Oakes, and he had like a flip trick, I think, down something.
You know, if someone can get the trick, I will still give a point to that, because I realize that question's a pretty hard one.
All right,
Wait,
it's
2017.
Back 50 on the rail with the bend at the end.
You're close, Nick.
I think that's
the second to last trick.
Nollie late flip. Nollie late front flip.
Yeah, there you go. Yep. Nick's got it.
Yep.
Oh, I just looked at it on YouTube.
For the sake of today's game. Oh my god. Wait, did you actually just look it up?
Yeah, just now.
Oh, well, you're not getting.
He's not coming back. Right. Give him the point.
Well, no. Remind me. Oh, no, I wasn't trying to
He looked it up. I'm not giving him a point.
No, I wasn't trying to get a point. I just wanted to see what it was.
All right.
My memory, I thought Josh opened. I thought he had the first part in that video, and then I thought Dave ended it. Did Dave have the part before Josh in Encore? Or did Dave
remember
open
who had opener and Encore?
It might have just been because in my mind I was either thinking it was either opened by Dave and closed by Josh, or the other way around.
Who did have opener and Encore?
I don't think it was. I don't think it's right. I don't think that's right. It's probably like Danny B or something. I don't even remember.
No, it wasn't him either. I can't. I'd have to go back. I don't know. I'm thinking Jensen for some reason right now, but I don't know if that's right either.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, he does, because he does that like front board drop down, front board and stuff on that handrail.
That was sick.
Love that trick.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep moving.
Mixed up Solstice and Encore. Dang it.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Heck. All right. Let's keep moving.
Did Jeremy Manson have a big flip? Was that the ender of something, or just
of his part? Yeah, he did a big flip. It was the first part in Solstice. His last trick in Solstice, I think, was a big flip down it was like a 6 flat 1, like a curve type, like stretch.
Yeah.
So that's probably the confusion there.
Sorry, Josh.
Dude, I have such an obscure one I almost want to ask just because Nick is on here and he might remember it. I don't think there's a snowball's chance in hell that the other two of you will get it, but I kind of want to ask this one. I don't know if it's a waste of a question. I almost never wanted to ask it. This is a funny one, though. All right. Before YouTube, this website hosted many of the Snowskate clips we would see on the Premiere forums. You guys know what this website? I'm sure. I think it's gone now. It was a very common site that like everyone was putting clips on.
I feel like I know it too.
Wait, don't show it yet. Don't show it yet.
Give me a second.
I don't know if that was it. I don't think that's not what I put.
I don't have a guess. I just want to see it.
You don't have a guess at all?
Nope. I saw a little bit of what Nick showed up, so I don't want to take a guess.
Okay.
All right. Ready, Nick?
Yeah. Yeah, it's Snowpicks.
Yep.
Snowpicks. Dude, it's funny though, because you could also say pup file as well. When I was making this question, I was like, pup file applies here, but I was mainly thinking of Snowpicks. But I mean, you're right. I'll give you either.
Putt file.
File. Oh yeah, I had a pup file account before.
I haven't heard that one in a long time.
Do you know of snowpicks.net, Eric? Have you ever heard of this, or are we schooling you right now? Yeah.
Nope,
okay.
I'm familiar.
Okay.
I never used it, but I'm familiar.
It was before the forum was before Instagram, and Snowpicks was before YouTube.
Yep.
I was on the Premiere forums for a second. I was there for all of the Ambition forums, so I remember a little bit from Snowpicks.
Yeah, YouTube was probably coming in by that time, even. Yeah.
2024 Ambition video only uploaded to Snowpicks.
Oh, please. Oh,
gets like
I would
8
love
views.
You need like a dark web browser.
I would love to see that. I would love to see that as a video editing style of like introducing people. They did that. The local homies in Minneapolis did that with My Skate. If you ever remember, that was Cal Surf's video back in. And that was like the video format was like you're just browsing Facebook and then like it would zoom in on someone's profile picture, be like their video or whatever. I always thought that was like a genius little thing that they did. But yes, I was going to say too that Snowpicks we talked about when we interviewed Bjorn on Wet Socks. So I remembered that. I remembered it from if he listens. He has his own podcast now. So
man, putting a snow skate video on Snowpicks in 2024 is like the skate equivalent of like putting a video on Pornhub, like for the release, you know?
Can you find it?
Do it next year, please.
Someone has to make Snowpicks again. I'm sure it's gone. So you have to buy the domain, make it, put one video on it.
Worth it. Blake, you got it, dog.
Hell yeah. All right. That was 3 questions total, right? We normally do 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That was 3.
All right, here's one that I had down, and I think, again, this is a good one to ask while you're here, Nick. This was the only snow skater in true color who had a part but wasn't on the team. Do you guys know who this was?
Oh, that's a good question.
Like, he had more than friends clips. He had like a section, but he was the only dude who wasn't even on the team. I'll also say he shared a part. I'll say that. He had half of a part, then we can call it. Shared it.
That's a tough one. That's a really tough one.
It is hard because this person also, I don't want to give away too much. I'll stop there. It's a hard question for sure. It's in my hard category.
I have someone down, but I'm
I don't feel good about my guess.
Zach, someday you're gonna open like a snow skate, like kind of like one of these arcade bars, but it's like you go in and do like snow skate trivia, and then there's like a room that's like a a museum section.
I wish.
Be amazing.
Snow skate trivia, no one ever shows up. It's just me talking to no one. I'm just like just entertaining myself with this knowledge that's not useful in any scenario except for right now. All right.
Oh, no one got it. All right.
No one got it again. Crazy. All right. Guys, show them. Yeah.
Ready?
Yeah, that's probably it.
What did yours say, Andrew?
Jessup.
We should announce this for people who are listening to and not watching. So Andrew had Andrew Jessup.
Awesome.
Austin
Nick had,
Jessup. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Nick had Danny Hopkins, which I believe is the correct answer. I put Justin Majeski, which is probably not the correct answer.
They were both on the team. Nick's definitely right on this one. It was Danny Hopkins, who then also seemed to disappear. I guess I never saw anything really after.
Yeah, he's like the local skateboard filmer around here.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he filmed with like Cookie and Jordan Maxim and all those guys growing up. Yeah,
awesome.
And then he came in and he had his sick nollie, very sick nollie.
If that was like
also,
on a skateboard as well.
Nick, props to you for using Going Up the Country like 2 years before Skate 3 used it.
Oh,
like that was pretty fucking sick.
True.
You got out in front of that.
That was his idea to use that song.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
What about the song for your part? You did Zap and Roger, More Bounce to the Ounce. Was that you? Did you pick that?
Yeah, because I heard it in Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah,
nice.
That's awesome.
I was like, what is that song? It was like fun. That song's great.
A little teaser, any listeners still listening, Zach's a big fan of Napoleon Dynamite. You can go to his YouTube channel and watch a looping clip of, oh my god, I don't even know what it is. This
Uncle
is
Rico just throwing footballs.
It's all the clips. I think it's all the clips from Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite on it's
like a 4-hour loop.
4-hour loop.
Oh,
yeah, so there was a reason why I didn't just sit down one day and be like, well, this needs to be made. I got to get this up on YouTube. I got a deadline. We were about to play a show, the band I play in. We were going to play a show, and it was the first time where they're like, hey, if you have like a video you want to play in the background, we'll play a video like in the background while you play. And I don't know who it was on my band was like, we should probably just do like a video of Uncle Rico throwing footballs for like a loop of him throwing footballs.
That's good.
So I was like, well, I'll download the movie real quick and I'll edit it together. And then by the time our set goes, like, we'll just do that. So
That's
yeah,
great.
we just played with that in the background. I do love Napoleon Dynamite though. I'm going to leave this somewhat up to you guys. For the last question, do you guys want like a semi-easy question or would you like a pretty hard one again?
Because Nick's here, let's do a hard one.
Let's go hard.
Okay. All right, I'll ask this one. It's kind of right in the middle of the two. I have a question that's newer and a question that's older and one that kind of falls in the middle. So I'm going to ask that one on a timeline, so to speak. This retrospect edit released in 2007 was the last video made before transitioning into Icon Snow Skates. Do you guys know what it is? And I do have a hint with this one if you feel like you need it, because I thought it was kind of hard.
Oh my god!
I see the colors.
I think I have it.
I could see you being pretty into snow skating at this time, Eric. So maybe this is one of the videos you would have frequently watched. Yeah.
Yep.
God, I know I saw it. I can't remember. I wrote.
You guys want the additional hint? I'll say it as well.
Yeah, I'll take the additional.
It was about 7 minutes long, I think. So it wasn't like a full length video.
Oh.
That actually does help. Okay, yeah, I feel better about my guess. And I deserve to get clowned on if I get it wrong now.
Oh, this is before something
Icon.
to be said?
Yep, it was the last thing that Retrospect did before they became, Icon Snow Skates, which, being a board brand and releasing their videos, doing all that stuff. They were, first Retrospect is more just like a media thing.
Okay.
You guys ready?
Everyone ready?
Yeah.
What does yours say? Snowfall?
I made it up. I can't remember what it was called. What was it called?
Eric, I thought it was the 90. I wasn't sure if it was the 90 days or Enjoy the View.
It's funny because, you're right outside of it. You put Let the Day Unfold and Enjoy the View, and it fell right between those two videos. And Eric's right, but I think it's 89 days, but I'll give you 90 days, one day off. But I think it's 89 days, right?
No way.
How many days are in winter?
And it was
what it's named after.
It was like blue, really blue intro or something.
Yep, it had an intro that with that Silver Sun pickup song, Lazy Eye. There's a lot of X Games footage in it too from that season.
Yeah.
What's up, Matt? If you're still listening.
I'm trying to look it up right now. Retrospect Films is giving me nothing. Do you have it on your YouTube channel, Zach?
I don't. I'll try to find it and upload it. Just try 89 Days Snowskate and see if it comes up. But I know YouTube's so fucking saturated nowadays. Looking up older stuff.
Oh, don't you hate that when you're searching for something and then it's immediately it'll be recommended for you after two choices? I'm like, oh my god.
Why?
It's getting YouTube shows. Red clip on the notepad.
Correct. Another point.
Yes.
Well, I can't find it, but I'll laugh. Before wrapping up, I want to make a quick note on this. I don't even know what to call it. Andrew, you had a name for it?
Tin Tacker.
Tin Tacker. Yeah, Riley Rahala printed this, pressed it. I don't know exactly what he did or how he did it, but it is amazing. It's like a foot in diameter, and it's the Snowskate Source logo if you're listening and not watching, and it's hanging on my wall behind me, and it's fucking amazing. So shout out to Riley. Yeah. Riley's the best.
Yeah.
He had some awesome footage in Quitting Time too, so if you haven't seen that yet, go watch it because he fucking killed it. All the Duluth boys. But yeah, big shouts out to Riley for that.
Yeah, that thing is incredible.
I mean, something like that would look really nice, somehow in the top sheet of an Ambition board or something. It'd be really classy, like a smaller version.
Yeah. I like that logo too.
Because I put the little sticker logo where the little I cut out the A logo. Sorry, Blay. But I cut out the A logo in the foam and I put little stickers where that is. So I usually put the little Snowskate Source sticker because the stickers that I have are roughly the same size, But yeah, not the same as a little metal print or anything like that. That'd be fucking tight.
Who just won trivia? Sorry,
probably Nick.
I think it was Nick or Andrew.
You're supposed to be keeping score.
Well, I fucked up because I was only keeping score.
One right.
Oh, you did?
Two.
I was only keeping score for. Okay, it was Andrew today.
Oh, then I got it.
Or wait,
nice.
You beat Nick Stefani in a Snowskate trivia.
No shit.
Andrew.
Yeah,
wait. Yeah.
What are the two he got?
Yeah,
you got World Industries and Snowpicks.net.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, wait, I did get two.
Yeah, you had.
All right, we got a tie then.
You had no, because you got. Did you
Danny
get the Ender? Oh yeah, Danny Hopkins.
I got Danny and Snowpicks.
Yeah, and you got Snowpicks.
If we give him the Ender he cheated on, he won, I guess.
No, I don't want the point for that.
Not the pity point. However, the running total, a tally for Andrew versus Eric is now Andrew's up still by one. Wait, where did we land last time? Eric, it's 4-5 now. Eric, you only got one today, right?
I got one.
So now Andrew pulled ahead.
So he's got 4. Oh,
wait,
I got 2. Okay. No, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Wait, no, I had 4.
Wait, it was 3-2. Yeah,
it
was 2-4.
Yeah,
right?
before 4.
You're right. Should be 4-4. Fuck, my bad. I must have wrote it down. I didn't even realize I did it.
Andrew, are you in Minneapolis?
Yeah, I'm just north in the suburbs.
Okay, so you and Eric are in the same area?
Yep.
Nice. Battle in Minneapolis.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually more like St. Paul. I got my Saints hat on.
Oh, nice. Hell yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. All right. Well, that's everything
boys.
We had on the agenda. Anything else you wanna shout out? Any stories you want to tell? Anything you want to plug, Nick?
I don't think so. Hi to all the old boys. Whoever's listening, I don't know. You must have better things to do in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for having me. Nice to meet you all, you guys, and hit the Sherbrooke Cliff.
Yeah, please do, Raph. We're calling you out. That leads perfectly into my little outro. So if you're listening to this, if you made it this far, shout out to you. Go Snowskate.